Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another video. What we have today, right? So we finished our final exams. We finished our math for Calculus 2. Congratulations. For me, at least, I thought Calc 2 was harder than Calc 3. So if you're, for engineering math, you are over the hump. Maybe this is not the most common opinion. I think that some people, especially at NC State, will think that Calc 3 is harder. But at least, I went to a community college, right? Most of us thought that Calc 2 was harder than Calc. Okay, so anywho, I was talking to you guys about, the difference between dropping the lowest final and the lowest midterm and replacing it with the final, or instead taking the average and doing 2/3 of that, 1/3 with your final, and then you're done, right? Okay. So I said in class, I was like, yeah, honestly, like most of the time, dropping the lowest with the final is going to be better. But actually here, I've got a little proof for you. This will be my final math lecture of the semester, I suppose, if you want to call it that. A little bonus lecture. And this is going to be showing you that it is always going to be higher to drop the lowest midterm with the final. Okay. So first off, we've got our weighted average here, right? So this is going to be our midterm average. So midterm average. That's this guy here. Because what we're going to do is we're going to have our current midterm average, right? If the final is not higher than the midterm average, this is just a wash anyway. It doesn't matter. Actually, that's not true. If the final is not higher than the midterm average, but it's higher than one of the midterms, it'll also just still replace the lowest midterm, right? So it's if your final is not higher than your average midterm, you're going to get 0 from doing this averaging one here. Okay, and so what we got here is we've got this average of our midterms. This is our old average of midterms. And then instead of just doing, we're dividing by 3 here, now what we're going to do is we're going to average this average, a weighted average. We're going to have 2/3 of that value and then 1/3 of the final value. So now we go down here, we're going to say, okay, is this M average, which is this side here, without loss of generality, we're going to let M1 be the lowest. It doesn't matter. You can call him whatever one you know what I mean? Like it doesn't. I'm just saying that we got 3 of them and one of them's the lowest. I'm going to say that M1 is the lowest. If M2 is the lowest, then just call this one M1. It doesn't matter. So here, this is going to be our new. This guy here is going to be the M average via the different weighting. And we're going to say, is it ever possible? Is it possible to be greater than just replacing the lowest one with the final? So now we've got, instead of M1 plus M2 plus M3 over 3, we've got F plus M2 plus M3 over 3. Right? Okay, is this ever possible? Well, let's do some math. All we do is our algebra. We're going to multiply everything by 9. So multiplying by 9 on this side, we're going to get 2M1 plus 2M2 plus 2M3. Multiplying this guy by 9 will give us 3F. And then multiplying on the right side, we're going to have, this will give us 3F here. And then we're going to have the same thing, 3M2 plus 3M3. You notice that the finals cancel. So 3F, 3F cancel. So really, it does not matter what grade you get on your final. It only matters your midterms, right? So you could have gone and looked. The finals don't have any dependence on which one's better. Okay, so now we get down in here and we say, okay, well, we've got 2M1 plus 2M2 plus 2M3 is greater than 3M2 plus 3M3. This means that 2M1 has to be greater than, we subtract over, M2 plus M3. Right, so if I got a 70 as my lowest midterm, and I got an 80 and a 90, is it possible that 70 times 2 is bigger than 80 plus 90? I don't know why I wrote my 8 like that. That was insane. And the answer is no, of course not, right? And the way that we just show this is we're going to go in here, we're going to say that M1 plus M1 is greater than M2 plus M3, but we know, because M1 is the lowest, that M1 is less than or equal to M2. And M1 is less than or equal to M3. So really I should have a less than or equal to here. And so now M1 is less than or equal to M2. M1 is less than or equal to M3. This means what we've shown here is, for this to be true, for you to be getting a worse deal with the dropping the lowest, what you would be doing here is saying that M2 has to be greater than M2, which is obviously not possible. We get a contradiction here. Okay, so this is all just to say, please do not email me and be like, hey man, actually, you did it wrong, because I should have gotten a C- and instead I got a D+, because you went and changed something. This is not the case. So we voted on this. You ended up getting a better deal because of it, so good job, you guys. And the grades will be posted. I cannot change grades after I submit them on my pack. So, I mean, I can't. Okay, this is not true. I can if they're wrong, right? So you don't just be like, hey man, can I get a better grade? You know, I'm so close. But if you're like, hey, you had like this is not right, and this actually happened to me maybe twice before. I put in a grade and they're like, hey, you know, this is not true. And then we can look back at it. I just have to email somebody. I submit like a MyPack regrade request and they can switch it. But I'll be posting these grades maybe in about an hour, hopefully. Depends on when my mentor gets back to me. And other than that, I will catch y'all on the flippity. I hope that y'all have a wonderful summer, and email me if you have any questions. Also email me if you have any, anything after the class, right? If you guys ever want any type of help or any, advice of different math things, right? I'm always happy to talk. You guys were great, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your schooling. Bye.